Hello everyone, welcome to JCE Connect. So in this class we'll study about the provisions for non-structural fastenings. So first we'll see what is non-structural. So here non-structural in the sense it is not a part of structure and it is not relating to or affecting to or contributing to the particular structure here. So in this prefabricated building components, such as we have studied so many components such as beam, column, slab, and then the foundations, walls. So these all are structural components. I mean, they are, it's like they are going to carry a certain load, and then they are going to transfer those loads from one member to the other member as per the arrangements. But here non-structural in the sense they are not a part of structure they have given. So not a part of structure in the sense what, it comes in the particular building but it is not going to carry any particular loads which is coming from the top structures, right? And here these non-structural items are nothing but they are not a part of structure and they are not relating to or affecting to or contributing to the structures of something freestanding panels and other non-structural elements such as non-structural movable parts also, right? And so here the question comes is like whether is it a fastener or an anchor. So here there is a difference between fastener and anchor. So usually this anchor, so this one it will be used in the connecting joints between the structural elements, that is the column to beam and column to foundation and then beam to slab. So wherever the joints will come, so these anchors will be used to connect from one member to the other member. Whereas these fasteners, so these fasteners, this attachment of non-structural items to the concrete is generally considered to be fastening. For example, in the kitchen household things and all, if you want to provide certain stands and all, so that time we need to fix that one for a particular wall. So there we are going to use this fastener to connect those additional members. They are not belongs to a structure, right? And we are going to fixing up the fans and all, so that time we are going to use this, right? So to connect particular structure by additional structural members, right? So whatever that joining element we can call, that one is like a fastener now. And here you can check a brief introduction about the fastener. So you can consider a bolt. So by using this bolt we can connect this bolt is used in most of all the cases, such as in steel structures and all. But here in the part of this non-structural elements, so how exactly this bolt will be useful and which are the main parts of this is just for the general introduction, the general informations for you students. So here in this particular bolt you can check at the top portion it stands with the head, and then as per the design and as per the size of the elements they are going to consider the radius of this particular bolt, this shank, what we can call. So that vertical member, the vertical part of this bolt, right? So on top of this head will be there, and then the total radius which is depends upon where exactly it will be useful, and then this grip length, right? So this grip length in the sense here no markings or no threads have been provided there, because so it is going to carry a certain load which is coming from this particular bolt, or else it is going to withstand that particular element. And then here run out they have given, so run out in the sense that end part of the threading system. And here nut, it is just to tighten that particular bolt in a particular member. And then here you can see the threads, right? So here these threads which is used to fix up this nut into its structure. And then thread length, that is where exactly the nut is going to start its movement, and later after tightened up where exactly it comes and reaches here. So the distance between these two parts we can call it as thread length. So nominal length is nothing but the total length of the bolt where exactly it is going to be inserted, except that head dimension. Okay, it is just a general information. And then here we are going to study the types of different fasteners. And before going that, just we'll see how exactly this non-fasteners are going to be used in the construction. I mean the general examples of non-structural elements. So these non-structural elements that includes the components such as mechanical and electrical plant. For example, if you want to fix up a plumbing work now, right, if you want to fix up the electrical work, so that time these fasteners will be useful to connect those particular works to the structural members, but it is not going to carry certain load whatever it comes on that, right? And even it can be used in ducting, and even in pipe work or pipe works also it can be used, and in cable trays, suspended ceilings, light non-load bearing partitions, and even it can be used in cladding systems such as brick veneers and all. Okay, so this is how the exact the fasteners will be used. I mean the non-structural fasteners will be used if you want to fix up a particular door to the wall now, so that time these fasteners will be used. For example, plumbing work, these fasteners will be used, and ceiling work, electrical work, sealing of these fans and all, so there exactly these fasteners will be useful. Okay, and now the types of fasteners. So here depends upon the applications of the work, these fasteners have been classified as follows. First one is chemical fastener, and then chemical fasteners followed by mechanical fastener, and then expansion fastener, drop-in fastener, and adhesive fastener. Okay, and we'll study the first one now. So first one, that is chemical fasteners. So these fasteners, which can be either surface mounted or injected fasteners using a variety of adhesives or epoxies. So here chemical fasteners in the sense what, if you want to fix a particular fastener in a particular building elements, right, so here we are going to inject those chemicals within those holes such that those fasteners are going to be fixed up in that wall portion. Okay, so it acts as like a adhesives or epoxies, and here they are bonded in a place with the two-part chemical compounds like epoxies, polyesters or vinyl esters also. So they can be used these types of the chemicals within those particular holes such that those fasteners are easily going to be bind with those holes by using these epoxies, polyesters or vinyl esters. And as with the expansion fasteners, the injection fastener is inserted into a pre-drilled holes and the adhesive is injected into the holes. So here what they will do, before joining that one from one element to the another element, first at the supportive element they are going to do the drills, right, I mean they are going to holes by drilling process, and then after that drilling process they are going to clean that entire hole such that no dust should be present within that hole, and later these fasteners are going to be inserted within that, and before that we need to place the chemical fasteners there. I mean chemical in the sense that epoxies or polyesters, and later we are going to insert this fasteners. So by using that epoxies and polyesters, that exactly it is going to be bind up with that fasteners into the structural element. Okay, and remember to blow out the dust before injecting into the adhesives, otherwise it will bond to the dust coating the interior of the hole and not surface of the hole itself. Okay, so here you can see the different chemical fasteners, right? So in this figure, so this is a fastener now, I mean that silver color what you can see, but here whatever the brown color you can see, that is a epoxies or even polyesters also what we can call, right? And here, so we'll see one video, so how exactly they are going to show that one, I mean how exactly they are going to place that one as a non-structural fasteners. So in this video you can see how exactly they are going to fix up this chemical fasteners. So first initially they are going to drill by initially they are going to making holes by drilling process, and later they are going to remove that entire dust. And now by using vacuum pressure they are going to clean up that hole by using that vacuum pressure, so that entire dust whatever it is there with the concrete member it can come out. And now they are going to inserting the chemical fasteners, right, I mean the chemical that is epoxies and all, and then they are going to inserting this fastener now, right. So within that epoxies or even polyesters or vinyl esters are there. See, so it will surround that entire fastener, and that excess amount they are going to chipping it off. And now, so they can be used that one for the other purpose, like where exactly they want to connect those non-structural elements on top of this. Right, so they can be tightened up with bolt connections, and then they are going to use this one as a supportive member for other members. Okay, so here you can see one more video where how they are going to provide the chemical fasteners within these structures. Okay, initially they are going to drilling of there. So after the marking that where exactly they require those holes, so after the marking process they are going to drill that one, and now they are cleaning off that entire holes such that no dust should be present within these holes, because in some cases if dust is present in that, so that chemicals whatever we are inserting such as epoxies and polyesters, so might be it won't bond properly with the fasteners, right. So that time what it happens, that bonding strength it is going to be reduced, so we need to clean that entire dust such that that fastener it is going to be that bonding with those fasteners with chemicals. And now they are going to prepare those fasteners by as per their required sizes with respect to the diameter as well as with respect to the length, and even they are going to provide certain threads that where exactly they require that thread length as well as that grip length, right. So depends upon their requirement they are going to manufacture those fasteners, and they are going to chipping it off such that no stoppage should be done by using those nuts. Now they are inserting certain chemicals there, right, and on every holes they are inserting those chemicals. These chemicals are nothing but these adhesive agents, so it is going to be withheld I mean it is going to be provide certain bondings between the fasteners as well as these chemicals. So now they have inserted one more member there. So they are going to provide these elements on top of this. See, this is how they have provided the joint between one element to the other element in this way by using the chemical fasteners. See, this is how they are going to be provide those chemical fasteners while joining from one element to the other element. So in some cases even they are going to provide the chemical fasteners, so after inserting fasteners also, right, I mean those adhesive agents they are going to provide after inserting those chemicals also, but it should be workable such that it should reaches that entire part of the fastener. And moving to the next type of the fastener, that is mechanical fastener. So here mechanical fastener, which is a device that used to mechanically join or fasten two or more objects together. So there are many different types of mechanical fasteners, but in general fasteners can be divided into two main categories, that is non-permanent and permanent fasteners. So here mechanical fasteners, they are work with the best with the hollow core material such as drywall and hollow core concrete blocks, which is often used in basements, right, and plaster. So this mechanical fasteners usually it will be used in drywall. I mean if you want to provide certain supports, such as we want to place hangers and all, so that time this mechanical fasteners have been used. And even it can be used on the plastering part of the wall also. And these fasteners, they are open up on the black side, that is inside the material being fastened to, and compress against the material being fastened to when the mechanical fastener is tightened. So this one will be having with certain screw systems, and when we start rotating that, so within that particular holes it is going to be tightened up, right? So like that we can be use this mechanical fastener. So here different types of mechanical fasteners we can be used in the construction part. So depends upon the application, these fasteners have been used in various aspects of the prefabricated elements. And most interesting type of this fastener, that is the expansion fasteners. So here expansion fasteners, which are for solid core materials like concrete. So if you want to provide certain joints with the concrete structures, then we can use this expansion fasteners. It consisting of a brick, stone and even mortar, and they work by transferring the tension or pulling forces on the bolt into the concrete through friction or expansion pressures, right? So when you have inserted this particular expansion fastener, so while inserting that, it remains the same diameter, and after entering that particular holes, when we have tightened up from the outside, so it is going to be expand with its length. So we'll show you that one in the video so that the things will get clear. And here base of the fastener is designed to expand against the sides of the hole in any number of the ways. The same thing what we told. So whatever the base which is provided for that fastener, it is going to be expand whenever we will rotate that, right? So after inserting that one in a particular hole, later it is going to be expand. Okay, and here you can see this expansion fastener, right? So initially, so you can see this diagram. So this is a bolt now. So initially it will be with the same diameter, right? So when we have inserted this, so after going that, it is going to be expand, so that it is going to be bond between, I mean it provides certain friction force, and even the holding property, it can be increased by using this expansion. I mean whatever the grip we can say, so that grip easily it can be withheld with those holes concrete portion, right? And here like that, it can be used in so many applications to join from one element to the other element without any loosened in its structures, right? So these are some of the examples of mechanical fasteners, so which are in various aspects, but the application will be same. Okay, so after inserting that one in a particular member, so when we have tightened up that one from the top, so it is going to be expand within its structure. Okay, and here you can see these are the different examples of this expansion fastener. Okay, so now we'll watch a video so that how exactly they are going to tighten up this expansion fasteners in particular building. So this is expansion fastener now. So now how exactly it is going to be fixed up in a particular structural element, we'll see now. So it can be used to connect anywhere for the concrete structures. And here they have given how exactly they have prepared this expansion joint. I mean, they manufactured this expansion joints. So initially they have provided with a certain threads, and then they have added one more expansion nut within that structure, and then on top of that a bolt structures they have provided. And now they are going to fix that one for a concrete flooring now. So if they want to support any members on top of this concrete flooring, how exactly they are going to provide this now. So whatever the element they are going to fixing up, they have placed on that, and they are marking with respect to that where exactly they require those connections. So those again connections and all, which is dependent upon the design aspects, like at what length of the member we are going to provide the holes and all. So now our work is just to provide the fasteners to one member to the other member. Now after making a drill with a certain length, so this length and all, which is dependent upon that length of that fastener, and even the strength aspect also, it will vary so that it should withstand that. Now they are going to removing off those dust particles within that. Now they have inserted the expansion fastener there, and from outside they are going to tighten up that, such that within that particular structure it is going to be expand, or it is going to be tightened up, right? So after the tightening process from the outside, how exactly it is going to be tightened up, right? So this is how they have used this. We'll watch one more video, and we'll see in depth there. So this is one more part. So how exactly they have provided with this expansion fasteners, and this is the expansion fastener now. So this one we need to fix up for element now. Okay, so this is a concrete member now. So we are going to provide a certain supports for this. Now after making the drills, I have inserted this expansion fasteners within that hole by some external force, and after it reaches that entire length of the fasteners, now we need to tighten up that. So after the tightening process, you can see how exactly it is going to be expands there, right? So it is going to be expands. So this particular expansion, what you can see, so this one, it is going to provide certain grips for this concrete members without any loosened part, right? See how it is going to be expands exactly, right? So it is going to be expands, and then it is going to provide certain strength as well as grip for the concrete members as well as to that expansion fastener. So later they can be used this one for various aspects, such as to support this particular wall they have constructed the other structural members also, right? So this is additional members. This is how they have connected to a particular wall portions by using the expansion joints, right? So even in the ceiling part also you can see there, so it acts again same. And during in some cases, if material is too brittle in its structures, so that expansion, it may cause a certain cracks within that member. So that expansion, it should be a certain limit such that no particular crack should be getting developed within that structure. So this is the main disadvantage part of this expansion fastener. So again we can reduce that expanded bolt, so that the things will get minimized with the cracks. And this is a better anti-corrosion material if we are using that one in any hydraulic structures. So that time it acts well such that it won't react with the water and start with the corrosion part. Okay, and this one is even anti-corrosion part, and this can be used in any part of the structures. Right, so like that this can be used for the non-structural part of the materials. So we can see one more small clip here, so that within a shorter period of time you will come to know how exactly it will works out. This is by using expansion bolt, right? So this is from one member to the other member, they have inserted that expansion fastener, and after tightened up it is going to be expands there. Okay, and this is how they are going to be fixed up with those fasteners into a member by using this expansion process within the fastener. And here some of the examples of expansion fasteners we can see, that is wedge fasteners, and here you can see the diagram, so how exactly it looks like with the wedge fastener. So here this wedge fastener, it's like what? So in this system it uses a nut as well as a washer and a steel stud bolt which has a tapered mandrel at the bottom portion here, right? And this surrounding is which a mandrel is either a steel clip or a separate steel wedges, right? So even though it is consisting of a washer here and here with a nut connections, and which is that entire part with the bolt here, and then that surrounding mandrel or else this rotating system, what you can see, so it is either a steel clip or even with a separate steel wedges also, right? And then when the nut is tightened here, so in this diagram you can see, so when the nut is tightened at this part, that mandrel is drawn up into a clip or wedges, that forcing them to become the wedge between mandrel and the sides of the hole. So this portion which is going to be expands within the element, so that it is going to be tightened up. Okay, and this is how exactly this wedge fastener is going to be used. And next one is, that is sleeve fastener. So here sleeve fasteners you can see, so in this sleeve fasteners, this sleeve expansion fasteners has a nut, right, and a washer and a steel stud bolt and sheet metal expansion sleeve. Okay, and as in the wedge expansion fastener, the bottom of the bolt has a uniformly tapered and mandrel of the same diameter as expansion sleeve also, right? And the sleeve itself, that slit lengthwise to 8 and expansion part here. So this particular slit you can see, that is lengthwise, this entire part it is going to be widened up. Okay, and here when the nut is tightened, which is drawn in the mandrel part within the that particular sleeve, and that forcing into the expand of the bearing against the slides of the whole part. Okay, so this is how exactly this sleeve fasteners is used in construction. And then the next one is the stud fastener. So this stud fastener, in contrast to the wedge and sleeve fasteners which uses a tightened nut to cause expansion of the fastener against the sides of the hole, and the stud fastener is expanded by the hammering upon the top of the stud. So here these connections will be having at the both the sides, so that when the members have been these connections at both the sides of the structural elements, so it gives certain additional supports, like even at the outside the wall portions and even at the inside the wall portions also. And here the stud expansion fasteners is threaded at the top, and the end has a drilled hole with a vertical slits at the bottom end of the stud. So here you can see the diagram. So in this this particular stud expansion fasteners, which is threaded at the top portion, and end has a drilled hole with the vertical slits at the bottom end of the studs. Okay, and next, and this particular hole at the bottom, so whatever the hole we have provided when we are inserting this particular stud, right? So in this case, this hole at the bottom of the stud, it sits over a tapered steel plug, and when the top of the stud is hammered, the bottom of the steel stud is forced with the over tapered and steel plug, which results in an expansion of the steel stud against the sides of the hole. Okay, and next, that is the self drilling fasteners. So here no additional drilling is required when we are inserting these types of the self drilling fasteners. So just by that tightened up that one from the outside, so it is going to be drilled itself and it is going to be fixed within that structures. So whatever the pre-drilled portions will be there, so it is going to be negligible in this self drilling fasteners, and that fastener itself, it is going to be drilled in a particular structural element, and then it is used in the construction part of the other members. And this fastener is comprised of steel shell with and tapered steel plug. So here you can see this, right? So this particular fasteners, which is comprised of a steel shell here within the structure, and then even it is having certain teeth portion, so with teeth also. So this particular portion, it is going to be drilled there, and after a certain length, it is going to be fixed up there, right? So this is with a tapered steel plug. And here you can see the top of the shell, right? So the top of the shell, which is internally threaded to a bolt which can be screwed into it, right? And by hammer drilling the shell over the tapered steel plug, and the bottom of the shell, which is forced to expand and bear against the sides of the hole. Okay, and so here, so after this part, the next type of this expansion fastener is drop-in fastener. Okay, so this drop-in fastener, which is uses a steel shell, right, and an internal expander plug also, right? So here you can see these fasteners. So this system, which uses a steel shell and an internal steel expander plug. So how exactly it is going to be used in a particular structural element, right? So we'll watch a video there and the things will get clear. So these are the drop-in fasteners, where exactly it is going to be used in the construction, right? So initially they are going to drill that, where exactly they require these types of the drop-in fasteners, and now they have inserted the drop-in fasteners and they are hammering from the outside, and then they are going to insert the next part of the fastener within that structure. So later, when we have tightened up this one from the bottom portion, it is going to be expand within that structures by using this internal steel expander plug. Okay, and now they are inserting that thread, right? So after tightening up this process, it is going to be expands and it is going to be fixed within that structure. And moving to the next type of the fasteners, that is the adhesive fasteners. So here adhesive fasteners are nothing but what? So these are the self-mounted, the adhesive fasteners, which can be used to mount the electrical fixtures such as the bathroom accessories, mirrors, brackets, smoke detectors, and even the kitchen items. So during that during that part of the construction, we can use these types of the adhesive fasteners. So here you can see the coloring part. So these are the adhesives what they have used for those fasteners, such that by using those adhesives, it can be fixed the other non-structural elements such as the bathroom accessories, mirrors, brackets, and even smoke detectors. So whatever the non-structural elements are there, so this one it can be used by using this fasteners. Okay, and even the doorbells, chalkboards, right? So we can use these types of the adhesive fasteners. So just by this adhesive agents, it can be get bonding property between the bonding stage between those fasteners as well as the wall portions, or else wherever it is required. Okay, and this is about the adhesive fasteners. And now moving to the next concept, that is expansion joints within the prefabricated elements. So till now we have studied about the fasteners, and now the next concept, that is expansion joints. So here the cumulative moments of the structural elements as well as the differential expansion moment of the adjacent wall materials, right? So they are generally taken up by the specially designed expansion joints, because an expansion joint which may be to accommodate the considerable movement within these wall portions, and it should be designed as simple as possible. So here they are going to provide the expansion joint between two structural elements, such that because of various factors, might be the if concrete got expands, so this particular joints it is going to resist that differential expansion within that structure. So either it may acts as a compression, either it may acts as that expansion, right? Either it may get contracts, so that time also this expansion joints it is going to be acts as the connective members without providing certain gaps, whereas for in other cases when it is going to be expands, so that time this expansion joints it is going to be merged, or else it is going to be bent as per the differential settlements. So that the differential expansions, that time this expansion joints it is going to provide a certain space for that expansion without any additional forces which are going to be act on those members, right? So here you can see these are the expansion joints between the two column part. Okay, and next, some things which are with seismic seals, right? So here you can check the next part, that is this seismic seals, which are special case of expansion joints, right? So these types of the joints which can be generally quite large, and which are used between a new structure as well as the existing buildings, right? Just to protect the joint from the moisture and allow the structures to move from thermal expansion, wind drift and seismic motions without any damage. So in some cases, these older buildings it is going to be having much moisture contents, right? So when we have constructed a new building just beside to this, because of this moisture content, even the new building also it may cause certain cracks, right? So to avoid this, they are going to provide these seismic seals, right? So they are like a special case of expansion joints, and here it is going to reduce the cracks between the various aspects, such as affecting to a new building by using this thermal expansion. Because of the heat also it may get extends, and even because of wind drift and even those seismic motions what they have provided without any damage. Okay, and here this seismic joints, right? So the seismic joints which are designed to accommodate both vertical as well as the horizontal movements. Not only with the horizontal, both horizontal as well as the vertical movement it can accommodate with respect to the subjective of the members, and they are available in the different sizes, such as 2 to 12 inches. Depends upon the applications, they can be used in various aspects. And here whatever the materials which are used for the expansion joints, right? So whatever the materials they have used for the expansion joint, it must be chosen for their ability to absorb the appreciable movement while performing their primary functions of the controlling the movement, moisture as well as the air portion. So whatever the materials we are going to use here, so we must be choose those materials in a such a way that we should check their ability to absorb the appreciable movement and while performing in a particular place. Okay, and we need to control those primary functions of the controlling movement and the moisture as well as the air within these elements. Now, in most of the cases, this requires a special gasket materials, right? So the special gasket materials that have to be used between two members, right? So you can see the gasket here. I mean, it's like the rubber material. So other than the sealants, we can use these types of the gaskets. Otherwise, the requirements for expansion joints are similar to those listed previously for the other joints. So here we are using special type of the gasket between one element to the other element, such that the expansion or whatever the process will be there in the concrete with respect to a change in the volume, so that it can be bear those all additional forces with the expansion by using these special gaskets. Thank you.